everybody. So today is the day we're gonna be doing an open mic. So whoever wants to join, we could be able to do that. Cause why not and stuff like that. So while we wait for these notifications to go out and all that goodness, you already know how the business is. How is everybody's Sunday? Hopefully everybody's having a good weekend. All that good stuff because time flies and we are already at the end of the weekend. That's nuts, that's pretty wild. Who would have thought that straight up that the weekend was going to fly? And here we are today. So let's look at the chat. What's up? What's up, Jack? Not much, just here chilling with y'all and stuff like that. What's happening? You already know it. What's happening with everybody? All right, so let's see. Let's see. All right, your weekend was good. You went to the gym, got muscles, want to get bodybuilding like Arnold. Nice, nice. Keep it up. It's always good to stay healthy. That's the important part about it. So, all that good stuff that comes with it and stuff. Reynaldo, what's up? Appreciate you for watching also. I see everybody starting to tune in and things like that. So we'll be checking out. Um, we'll be getting into it and again it's gonna be open mic. I'll put the link in a few. I'm just waiting for a few more people and stuff. Ace, what's up? What's up? Yes, sir. You already know it. Open mic time. Yeah, yeah. So, make sure to share the link and stuff like that. Meaning this one, so we can have more people watch the live stream and stuff like that. So, I'll get into it in a few seconds and stuff. So, I'm just getting these notifications out and things like that. So, I just been sharing it on Twitter, X, if you want to call it. Um, so we could get more people into the party, if you want to say, because this is how we're gonna do it and things. Andrew Garfield will come back. MCU, that's good. Yeah, for sure, for sure. I know he's gonna come back. They're just playing that game again. Slipknot, what's up? Appreciate you for watching. Also, so real simple. You know, good, good. That's good. You're doing good. Cool, cool. Good to see that. All right. So y'all already know the rules. We did this the other day, and that went well. Everything went good. And I'm happy how it turned out and stuff like that. So, with that being said, we're gonna do the same thing. Like I said, if you guys want to join in on the chat, I'm gonna do one by one, and you all have like a minute to talk. Just try to keep it so everybody can, more people could join and stuff like that. But remember, keep it respectful. Say what you want. Just keep it neutral. No bashing on nobody. No none of that stuff. Just say what you feel and stuff like that. And we're all fans here. Some enjoy one or the other. Some enjoy all. It is what it is. But let's just keep it positive. Let's stay cool on subject, please. Don't go off course. No politics. No none of that stuff. We don't talk about that here. This is not the place for it and stuff like that. And like I said, keep it cool and respectful because if you try me, I will ban you and report you. So please don't be that person, honestly. Just don't, if you're gonna tune in and just talk, say what you want, feel all that good stuff because I know that we all just want to sometimes vent and talk, and that's what we got in this community. We want to just hang out and all that good stuff. So let's check out the comments real quick. We'll get into it in a few. Ben Affleck needs to come back right now. Batman Solo, yes sir. You already know it. How's my weekend? It's been good. Can't complain. It just flew by real fast. You working Warner Brothers and Netflix, bro? Oh, that would be nice. You imagine that working with them? Yeah, man, that would be nice. Alan Richardson was rumored Street Fighter to play Guile. But I don't think it's gonna happen. We'll see what's gonna happen with that. I don't know. I'm just not convinced with that. What is the Commission Fortnite, Scooby Doo, and more? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I did read somewhere something that they had said something about Scooby Doo, probably coming to the Fortnite and stuff like that. Hell yeah, you already know it. Released the air cut. Y'all already know it. So with that being said, like Joker said in The Dark Knight, good evening. We are tonight's entertainment. So let me put the link so whoever wants to join, you know, that's the link directly. So if y'all want to join, like I said, I'll just keep sending reminders before everybody joins one by one. We're gonna do one by one. You have a minute, up to a minute to say what you want, and if you want to go back again, just get back into the queue and stuff like that, and then I'll start going one by one, so y'all can talk and stuff like that. Like I said, keep it peaceful, keep it respectful, keep it fun. and most of all, keep it neutral. Like I said, don't if you're gonna troll, don't do it straight up. Don't bring that trolling around here. Last time we had a good thing going, and let's keep it going again because like I said, we cannot let's not ruin that, honestly. I like to interact with y'all and stuff like that. And it's always fun for people to join. So, just a talk and see everybody's different point of view and stuff like that. So that's always good. Let's see. Batman Part 3 will not happen. Let Thing Gone. I might not. I don't think it's going to, honestly. I really don't think. You wish Lewis Tan play Ryu Street Fighter, not Andrew. He's too skinny for Ryu. Yeah, hopefully they bulk up and they get, the proper size that they need and stuff like that. Without, CG and none of that stuff. Hopefully. I'm just not feeling that Street Fighter movie, honestly. But I hope they convince me to watch it because so far what I'm seeing with those leaks, yeah, I'm not really feeling it, honestly. Sean, what's up? What's up, man? Just here hanging out with y'all. Just here doing another open mic. Whoever wants to join, I did put the link, so I'll put it again because it's probably getting lost in the comments and stuff like that. So again, like I said, keep it neutral, keep it positive, don't troll around, and you got 1 minute to talk and say what you want, just so we could give more people the opportunity and stuff like that. So they can everybody could get a chance and stuff. And if you want to keep on joining, just get in the queue and stuff like that, like I said. So we'll be able to chop it up and we can all like talk and things like that. So let me see, can't wait. The He-Man reboot live action. uh yeah. Okay. All right, Sergeant, what's up? All right, so I'm gonna bring you on. I know with you, you already know the business. Like I said, 1 minute. You got 1 minute to say what you want, and then we're gonna wait for like the next person and stuff like that. Let me just put this and talk to us. What's going
Hi,
on?
thanks for having me back on, CS.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for being
Yeah,
here.
I seriously don't, I cannot trust Gunn. He's likely to rip us off with someone else for Man of Tomorrow because of how screwy he is, and he gave people a heads up not to, telling his fans not to be too sure of what he's got in mind yet.
Yeah.
Plus, another issue I'm dealing with are people who don't seem to want to change how live action Superman movies are to start out as. I mean, sure, I'm sure 1978 was great and all, but we can't have the studio keep relying on overusing the same stuff over and over again. There's a lot in depth that needs to be used. I mean, you've got Metal, you've got Brainiac, you've got Bizarro, lots of villains from the A-list Superman villain gallery that should be used in live action Superman movies to fight Superman. I mean, I've been putting up with some folks who don't seem to be bothered by what Gunn had put in his movie recently, and it's really doesn't seem normal for actual fans to act so overconfident and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we also while we're still aware and trying to get what the Snyder's first back up and running, we do got to deal with a lot that's been going on over at Netflix since they've lost billions over what they've been promoting that's been scaring their customers off.
Mm-hmm.
So how have you been doing?
I've been good. Be here working. The working with that comic that's taking a lot of my time, honestly. And
Yeah,
yeah, so now I'm
yeah, I'll
working
be
on the
seeing
second
Tron
one.
with
So.
you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Are you going
But
to see Tron?
yeah, I'm trying to see if I could go see it soon. So yeah, I do want to see it for sure. The
Sure.
last one was good, but it's been some time, but finally we have it, so that's good. And what
Yeah,
about you?
yeah, I'm going to see it too. And I'll be doing a live stream talking about the movies this Wednesday. And then the next week, I'll be talking about Bleach. On my
Oh,
birthday on the 22nd, I'll be doing something special. And then the 29th, I'll be bringing folks on to talk about Blade.
got it. Cool, cool. That's good.
Yeah.
Good. Nice.
Is my
Very good.
time up?
Yeah, let's go to the next one. And
Thank you.
if you want to join it, you just join the queue, and then I'll bring you as we keep going.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
I'll leave now. Take care.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it. All right, so let's see. Same thing. So Milo, I'm about to bring you on. Like I said, remember, keep it cool, stay on topic, and talk about what you want. No trolling, please. So, like I'm telling everybody, just let's keep it going and stuff like that. Talk to us. What's up?
Yo, what's up, CS?
Not much, and you?
Nothing much, man. I just have like two quick questions.
Yeah.
Um, my first question is, will Rebel Defenders do mature topics like sexual assault, like in Zack Snyder's The Watchmen?
To be honest with you, nah, not really. I'm not focused on none of that. I'm just straight up focusing on the characters, what this universe is about, and their story and what they're going through. But I'm not focused on none of that stuff, honestly.
Okay. My second question is, if Netflix acquires WB, do you think Zack Snyder should film Justice League 2 and 3 back to back, or should he take his time with both projects?
Back to back, back to back would be the most. I think that it would make most sense, like how they did with Rebel Moon. Just do it back to back, and they could squeeze a lot of the juice, like into the content and stuff.
Yeah, I had the same idea.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's all I had to ask. Thank you, man.
appreciate that. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right. So anybody else that wants to join, let me actually send the link again because it keeps getting lost in the comments. So whoever wants to join. All right. Cool. 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 Let me see. All right. Let's try to catch up with the comments and stuff. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I agree with you, Brainiac. He needed to be in the movie and stuff. But I think that's what James Gunn is going to do in the second one. He's just going to completely rip off the idea from what we were going to get, in Man of Steel 2. And I think he's just running with the idea and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. None of us should be surprised. I mean, that's what he does and things like that. James Gunn wants to skip Batman Part 2 with Matt Reeves. Yeah, he's probably just going to be focusing on his Batman Brave and the Bold. So anything I mean that's just where he wants to go. I don't see him really caring about with Matt Reeves and stuff like that. I mean, if you already have what's her name, Zoe Kravitz, that she's not coming for the second one. She probably read something, she probably saw something. It's like, you know what, I might as well just step away while I can. So it's understandable. It happens in this industry. A lot of actors do it. Their agents tell them, hey, don't even go for the next one, stuff like that. So it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. But at the same time, in the end, these actors and actresses, same thing with directors, producers, composers, makeup artists, all of them, they have an image to keep, so they sometimes don't want to be associated with certain directors or certain drama that's going on, stuff like that. So it happens. Zack Snyder's DCU must return as live action. Yes, sir. You already know it, Ray. Hell yeah, 100%. It has to return live action. When some people are trying to defend it and say, oh, because Zack Snyder was asked, oh, what if Netflix acquired, the rights and they want to continue it as like a animation and stuff. Yes, Zack Snyder said, yeah, that would be fun and stuff like that. But the right thing is not to settle and not to compromise, like Zack Snyder said. Don't compromise. When he had the interview with the Russos, with the Russo brothers, whatever, when they were eating that pizza, um, because if you compromise, that means, yo, you want to just make the movie like whatever. No, we're fighting for a cause, and we want Justice League 2 and 3 from Zack Snyder. We want to see what he was going to unfold and literally open up the door to everything that was going to set up within that universe, with the Nightmare timeline, stuff like that. And that's something that honestly I'm actually, I'm really looking forward to. Once the Snyderverse comes back, there's no doubt about it. There is no doubt about it. And now, and I won't get into details about why and stuff. I just literally recorded a video. I just finished putting it together. So once after the live stream is done, I'm gonna upload it so you guys can see, and you'll see why. You'll see why. All I can say is just numbers don't lie. That's all. The stocks for WB are dropping again. Notice that. Um, Things are not picking up. Things are just not looking good for WB right now with DC, and once again it's starting to sink. Notice how when people were talking about 2 weeks ago about this whole buyout, like the internet was wild. Everybody was talking about it. DC was trending. All these things were trending because, of course, the stock investors, the shareholders, they want their money back and they want to make money. So hearing, with Skydance, with Paramount, and Comcast and Netflix that they want to buy, it's obvious. They want to invest to make money, and they want to give you know content to us, the fans, the audience, and everybody that's out here. And they know that the only way to do that is by them making an offer and saying, "Hey, we want to buy the studio," and it's time. We need new leadership. When people are like, "Oh no, they're not going to sell," they're going to sell. They are going to sell. They're just preparing those bids. So, like I've been telling y'all, we just entered October. Today is the 5th, and we got October, November, and December. We always tend to hear a lot of big juicy updates right before the end of the year, and let's not forget that December is a good month when a lot of updates come up. And also, let's not forget, during Thanksgiving, a lot of things tend to drop. Let's not forget that picture that Zack Snyder posted like a few years ago, with I think it was what, Crisis on Infinite Earth. I don't know what it's called. Whatever. The whole point is that book was in the background, before all this reboot and everything started, and that's where they wanted to go. So again, a whole bunch of things are still on the table, and like Ben Affleck said, anything is possible. We just got to stay hopeful, positive, and we got to keep on staying united. That's the main key and stuff like that. What upcoming movies are you looking forward to? I was looking forward to Mortal Kombat, but they pushed that back. I am looking forward to Five Nights at Freddy's, the second one. I think that when's that coming out? I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. For sure, Tron, the new one that's coming out. Avatar, for sure, I want to see that one. And they're also talking about that. They're thinking about showing something, not a preview, but just something, I guess, like a tease for the new Avengers movie that they're working on, Doomsday. So if they do that, which I know they might, I'm for sure gonna go watch it just because I want to see what they're gonna show and like kind of like talk about and stuff like that. They're already starting their marketing, and like I've been saying, like once Marvel goes all out with the next Avengers, like it's a done deal. Like nobody's gonna be paying attention to DC. Like the only way that the brand of DC can redeem themselves in the live action would be them straight up just going back to what was working, which was the Snyderverse, because people's attention were all there. Clearly, you can see now that people are not watching because Peacemaker numbers with season 2 are not up there anymore. And then you're gonna have some fans that are gonna come out and say, "Oh, but Peacemakers, it's trending on HBO Max," and the same with Superman. Okay, that's normal. I mean, that happens in every streaming service because there's nothing else to watch. Literally, Marvel doesn't have anything right now at the moment, and people are just bored, so they're gonna be like, "Well, might as well already have the subscription, so why not?" But then when you see the comments and you read like on social media, people are like, "I couldn't get past like 10 or 15 minutes." They were like, "This is not a Superman movie." They were like, "What the hell is this?" So people are again finding out that movie isn't what people wanted. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Eric, what's up? Zack Snyder's DCU movies were essentially going to be a 5-part epic mythological saga with Lucas inspired thematic writing structure with callbacks and parallels. Yeah, exactly. We were supposed to get 5. But again, the studio screwed up. They dropped the ball. And Zack Snyder, even though that happened, he still cooked. And I'll tell y'all why. Because think about it. At the end of the Snyder Cut, what do we see? We got to look at the big picture. All right. Yes, we got the Snyder Cut. Yes, we saw what we saw in that movie. But we got to see the big picture in the sense of, okay, what is it setting up and where is it going to take us? And that's where Zack fully cooked. Zack was like, I'm not pulling out the steak. I'm straight up throwing on the grill the steak. I'm throwing the lobster. I'm throwing everything. You get what I'm saying? Those ribs, everything, baby. He's just like, you know what? Fire up the grill. We're gonna cook. And I speak like that symbolically because as a chef, when a chef cooks, they don't just cook just because they cook. No, they cook because real chef loves what they do. They use the right ingredients. They use the right tools. The temperature, they want that meal to come out prepared right. And that's what Zack does. Zack is looking at the cameras he's using, the angles he's going to be filming with, the music. Like he knows and he does his research good, and what he set up, what we were originally going to get 5, movies, you know, it opened the door to more because now we're talking about Darkseid has taken over. You have Joker in this timeline. Joker's from Suicide Squad. So you have the Arrowverse connecting into the Snyderverse. Therefore, still all the same part of the same universe. You have the remaining, cast of the Justice League, and now Superman is evil under the control of Darkseid. Like as a fan, I want to see that. I'm like, I'm more interested in seeing that than what DC's doing right now. Like, I don't care about what DC's doing right now with Peacemaker. I don't care what they're doing with this reboot. I just don't care, honestly. And many fans are feeling the same way because they're tired. They're just tired of what the generic stuff that they're putting, and just people want good entertainment again. That's what we need again. But I know things are going to happen. You'll see. Trust me when I say it's going to get restored. There's no and ifs or buts. There's no second thoughts on that. Shin Batman 84, what's up? You just returned seeing GoldenEye in theaters. Sean Gunn up in a Comic Con talking some bullshit about the DCU. Oh man, yeah, that's how they are. That's how James Gunn and the brother are. And they're trying so hard to push and promote Peacemaker. Like there is nothing else that they could talk about, besides trying to rush and start filming Superman or whatever they're gonna do the next one and stuff like that. But again, I'm just not interested. Many people are not. You've been getting more videos lately with James Gunn's Peacemaker, bringing nothing but controversy, but not in a good way, especially with his last two episodes. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you, Eric. Yep, the same. I've been seeing a lot of people just bringing up what they're trying to push and promote. That's why I've been telling y'all. James Gunn is low key trying to push his agenda. Anybody that doesn't see that, I'm sorry, but you're just sleeping. Like you need to wake up and realize, or probably you're with that crowd. You support it and stuff like that. And I'm not one of them. And just like that, many of us are not. We're just not supporting it. James Gunn's not feeling put new Batman DCU, but he's facing another actor who wants Robert Pattinson than it. Let's see. Sucks knowing that Chris Pratt was supporting James Gunn and vouching for him after he got fired by Marvel. But after Gunn got rehired, then he started his DCU. He repays Pratt by insulting Christianity. Yeah, exactly. That's another thing too. That's why I said they're just pushing an agenda. They're trying to push their agenda, like trying to justify it and stuff like that. And the funny thing about this is, like I won't talk too much about that real fast. It's just real quick. It's Hollywood. It's what they push and promote. Anything against that to them is what they call a win, which clearly is just turning people away. Let's see. Clayface won't be good. People is gonna get confused about Matt Reeves and reboot Batman DCU. Yeah, exactly. I'm one of them. I'm already confused. I'm like, does this Batman take place within the DCU? Even though James Gunn has said it doesn't, and Matt Reeves says he doesn't, but then James Gunn wants to bring in Robert Pattinson to DCU. He wants to find a way. Again, I don't believe none of them. I don't believe at this point Matt Reeves, and I don't believe especially James Gunn, because let's not forget, Matt Reeves is another one that has bent the knee to James Gunn just so he can have his the Batman, part 2 and stuff like that. So I just don't believe him at this point. None of them. They're just making things up. They just want people talking. That's all. But in the end, we know how James Gunn is. Chris Pratt is one of the last handful of Hollywood actors who has any sense of humility whatsoever. Yeah, that's why he gets a lot of heat. He gets a lot of heat over there. Then of course you've got Henry Cavill and Hayden Christensen. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. I do feel bad for Pratt being stabbed in the back by Gunn after he stuck up for him. Yeah, that's exactly what James Gunn's all about. He doesn't care about nobody but himself. James Gunn doesn't want Ben Barnes play Batman. Not feeling. All right, let me put the link again so whoever wants to join, because I know they keep getting buried in the comments and stuff like that. Let's see. Let's see. The only achievement Superman ever achieved was getting people to talk about DC, not the actual box office numbers or even critical reception. Yeah. Honestly. Leroy, what's up? Hello guys. You've been late. Great live. Appreciate that. No worries. You good. Let's see. James Gunn fails. Yeah, always. That's all he does when he puts out his stuff on his products and whatever it is. Do you think Clayface will be dark and Batman 2 be some dark realistic? Look, that's the part where I'm kind of confused because look, we know that James Gunn's DCU is supposed to be bright, colorful, cheerful, all this silliness that's going on. But at the same time, now he's throwing in Peacemaker, which is R rated. and it's very raunchy. It's very disgusting. It's insulting. It's everything, right? The worst of the worst. And the same with Creature Commandos. We know that that's also R-rated, for mature audiences and all that crap. But then now Matt Reeves, we know that Matt Reeves wants to do his take on Batman, but now it's going to be darker, and it's supposed to be more, I guess, more grittier, if you want to say. But what confuses me as just, a regular person watching a movie is like, okay, these movies are not supposed to be connected, but it's like they're low key trying to connect them in a way. And then again, James Gunn said in an interview, he's like, all of these things are somewhat taking place, even though other directors are showing you a different version of the character. For example, like the Batman we're seeing with Matt Reeves could one day be the same Batman of that universe. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's the same one, but you're getting that same, I guess, style, tone, or whatever it is that he's doing. At this point, like I said, everything is just it's far beyond repairable, with James Gunn and everything that he has caused. It's just a mess. Sure, Superman 2025 is already 82 critical rating on Rotten Tomatoes, but if you look at the scoring on Rotten Tomatoes, you talk about the averages, it's really along the lines of 7.5 out of 10 or 7.7 out of 10. Yeah, for sure. For sure, Sergeant, appreciate that. Let's see. At best, 2025 Superman is just a mid movie. Yeah, it's really not a Superman movie. It's like somebody pointed the other day. It's a Superboy movie. It's completely that's what it is, honestly. The Snyderverse is peak DC. Yep, exactly. And during that peak, even the stocks were up there, because of course, that's when they were making money, and talking about peak, it's crazy how when you think about this, all right, what's Man of Steel, 12 years old, from today's date, and a movie that came out 12 years ago still till this day is being talked about, and into the future is still going to keep on being talked about. And just like that, the same thing with the Snyderverse, the Snyder Cut. When everybody was against it, they were like, it would never happen. But what do we have? We have the Snyder Cut, so that's part of history. That's a huge win for us, the fans. And that's a huge win for DC history, because forever, no matter how much they try to ignore it, everyone's always going to go back and be like, what about Zack Snyder's Justice League? It's forever going to haunt WB, if they still stay with the same regime, if you want to say. And they're going to have to sell. They're eventually they're going to be forced. They're going to have to sell. And once it does happen, that peak DC is going to come back. Because right now, you can't say the same thing about DC. They are not peak. They're straight up generic and an embarrassment. It's bad how DC has fallen, overall with the comics and with the movies and stuff. Comic book podcast 2. He feels like okay to watch Batman 2 films, Matt Reeves and Batman DCU, but he's a lying person. He's wrong. Yeah, like straight up comic book podcast. He's always been against the Snyder community and everything that's Zack Snyder. He's a big shill, honestly, But I mean, it is what it is. We just don't let that bother us and stuff like that. All right. So Leroy, what's up? Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me add you to the. All right, gotcha. Let me just remove this. I'll come back to you, Outlaw. Leroy, what's up?
Hi, hello. Hi.
How you doing?
Fine. I won't stay long. Thank you for allowing me on your live.
All good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
All right. Yeah. Thank you for allowing me on your live.
No worries. Thank you for being here.
Yeah. I hope I'm not boring you.
You're good.
I think Snyderverse is peak DC, and we need more Snyderverse. We need more Zack Snyder. We need more Snyderverse. That's my opinion.
For sure. What do you want to see once it comes back?
What I want to see come back? You mean the cast?
No, once the Snyderverse gets restored, what do you want to see happen?
Well, I would like to see them continue where they left off. Hopefully.
Right.
Hopefully everybody come back. All the cast come back. I think they will all come back for Zack Snyder.
Yeah, they will. For sure. Sure they will.
But to be honest, I don't think we need the Nightmare timeline. I think we can do it without a Nightmare timeline. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Go forward.
but let's not forget that's where it left off. So things are very interesting in that timeline.
Yeah. They should find a way to wipe it out. Let Flash wipe it out. I introduce Dr. Manhattan and
Yeah,
change the timeline.
I'm sure they would do something. You know, if he did it the
Yeah,
first time, I'm sure he could do it again. So
I hope so. Yeah, yeah. And they still look good for the age. They still look good for the age right now. Henry Cavill still looks good. Ben Affleck looks good, and Gal Gadot still looks good for the age. You know what I mean?
yeah, big time. They're all still there, you
Yeah.
know, and they're ready to come back. I know for sure they'll come back.
Yeah, and the thing is, they were all willing to come back without Zack Snyder. And James Gunn lost up everything. James Gunn deliberately sabotaged the DCU movies. He deliberately sabotaged them and caused them to fail. So he would never win me back. Sorry, he would never win me back. No
That's
way.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
And the behavior of James Gunn causes many of them are sending me death threats. And the behavior of those people turns me out, trying to scare me over James Gunn. You
That's
know what I
what they
mean?
do. They're bullies. That's what they do. They
Yes.
love to scare people.
But they don't scare me one bit. Nothing scare me one because I can defend myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It
No,
is
no
it's a
fear.
real shame. I'm hearing people calling you names, calling you this and calling you that. It saddens me, which is not true.
Yeah,
Sad.
yeah. That's how they are. But it is what
Yeah.
it is. That just shows you, like the saying says, if they're hating on you, that means you're doing something right.
Yeah.
You
That's how I
know?
see it.
Yeah.
They're calling you what? They're calling you what? They're calling you. So you're cooking James Gunn and calling me same cooking Zack Snyder, which is not true. So
Nah.
you and I are cooking Zack Snyder. No,
Yeah. No, it's
not
all good
true.
though. We don't pay them attention. We just prove them wrong.
Right.
You know? They
Right.
just want us to stop, but they know that we will stop at
Yes.
nothing, period.
They are the ones who are cooking James Gunn. They are the ones cooking James Gunn. It's a shame and disgrace.
Yeah,
Mhm.
big time. No, but things will get
Yeah.
they're gonna change. You'll see. Things will get better for us. And in the end, we got
Yeah.
the Snyder cut. We won, and we're gonna make it happen again
Yes.
once it gets restored.
And Zack Snyder Justice League is my number one movie, my number one and greatest movie. That's my opinion.
Yeah, no, that's good. Good.
Yeah.
Good to hear that.
Yeah.
All right, Leroy. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. But thank you for allowing me on your live. All your lives are great. Yeah.
Appreciate that. Thank
I,
you.
because other people want to come on. So keep up the good work. Take care and thanks again for everything.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right then. Take care. Bye bye. Take care,
Got it.
guys. All right.
All right. So let me just close right here. All right. All right, cool. Let me just catch up with the chat real quick. All right, so we got James going to hire to copy MCU formula, push forward degenerates versus agendas. Yeah, pretty much that's exactly where things left off with with James Gunn and stuff like that. Let me see. All right, so let me bring in Charger 6-pack 550. All right, so here we go. What's up? Talk to us.
Hey, what's up, CS? How you doing, man?
All right, and you?
I'm doing well.
Talk to us. Tell us what you feeling.
I'm feeling fine and so on. And I saw the video of the man. I got to tell you, and 28 years later was a massive, epic fail.
Right?
Yeah, that's right.
What?
And
Yeah.
continue.
No, go.
Continue. And it has nothing to do with Cillian Murphy appearance, but like that. So what a massive letdown to me. I'm never rewatching this ever again.
Yeah, they ruined the brand of 28. You know, I was so disappointed. And that end, oh man, that end was I was like, are we having the Power Rangers now on this
Rip off
franchise?
Power Rangers.
I was like, I can't
God,
believe who
please.
actually authorized and said this is good. You know, I really don't know. But this is
Yeah.
where we are in film today. You know, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah. I may have to see the Bone Temple. Let me hear this then. If 28 years later the Bone Temple receives poor reviews, I'm not gonna see it in theaters. I'm not doing that if it has bad reviews.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not watching it at all. Period. There's no. I'm not gonna go see it. Honestly.
All right.
Yeah.
And I made a video about Marvel Another Day, and it's like doing terrible this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Warner Bros. needs to do is like to launch the DC alternative content to put the Snyderverse in the DC Elseworlds by then.
Right. That's all we want, just to be included. But I don't know. Apparently, that's like very difficult for them to do.
Hmm. Oh, and the words these man, David Zaslav needs to get out of here too, along with Bob Iger from Disney. These guys need to get fired as well.
Yeah. Yeah. The industry is slowly starting to change. If you're looking and looking at it real close, they're starting to make a lot of drastic changes, which is good because we need it in this industry. Like they're cleaning house little by little. It's not gonna happen overnight, but it will. Eventually, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it should soon. Then what do you think this is?
Yeah. Yeah. Because Hollywood can't continue the way that it's in the shape right now.
Like, what the heck is going on with Hollywood right now, man? Really?
It's gotten worse. That's what it is. It's gotten worse.
Yeah, could I say Captain America broke a new world didn't surpass Man of Steel, and
Yeah.
Superman didn't do that either.
Yep. Yep. People are finding out. They really are.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is right now.
Mm-hmm. All right, and sorry for stammering.
It's all good.
Yeah, and I'm going to be heading to my uncle's play right now. No, not right now, but later. It starts at 6:30,
Okay. Cool.
and I'm going to be writing a song for 2026. It's going to be
Okay.
contemporary country music.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You see that right
And,
there? That's what we need. We need more creators, original content out there. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, we are the future, and that's what Hollywood is afraid of. They don't like
Exactly.
original content creators like us. They don't. But we are
Exactly.
the future. It's happening. That's why you see all these content creators growing.
1,000,000,000% agree with you.
So
Real
keep
fast.
it up. Keep it up. Don't give up on your dream. You keep doing, and the more people tell you no or whatever, take that as feedback to help you, and you just keep on pushing because one day you'll get to where you want to be. I'm telling you, my friend, it will happen.
Yeah. Mate, I hope. I guess so.
But yeah, that's good. Well, thanks, my
All
friend,
right.
for joining.
Thank you very much.
Gotcha.
Bye-bye.
All right. So let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I know I'm trying to catch up with the chat, but it's nearly impossible. So the chat is wild right now. Dang, I already lost where I'm at. All right, so let me bring in Eric. Give me 1 second. Talk to us, Eric. What's up?
Hey, CS, what's up?
All right, and you?
Doing all right. Who was that last guest, by the way? The one that he said he was doing like a music video and shit, a song and whatnot.
Oh, damn, I lost the. It's somewhere in the chat now, but I don't know where it's at right now. I guess when you gotta go watch the video after it's done, just skip to wherever we are, and then you'll see it because it'll show you their thing. But I don't know where it's at right now because there's so many people on the chat right now. So it's like I'm trying to. Let me see. Hold on. I think I found it. I think it was Charger 6-pack 550. I think that's the one.
Okay, well, whoever it is, I left the chat in the DM saying, "Yo, let's collab and whatnot," because I'm trying to get like my I'm trying to like get some get like my directing and cinematography repertoire up to date. You know what I mean? So like, let's start shooting. I suggested, hey, let's collaborate to get you like a music video and whatnot.
Oh, okay, cool, nice. Well, you heard it, so hit them up, and that's some good good stuff. So keep it up, also.
But yeah, I think too we could probably even use these Q&A. We could probably even use these Q&A videos for like networking and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like
Right,
say like
yeah.
any future creators that we were like, hey, let's get to work on this and whatnot, because like
Yeah.
we're because like you said, we're the future, and we could even like elevate like where we're all headed and whatnot.
Yeah, big time, for sure.
And then as for the Snyderverse restoration, I definitely see that as a possibility because like ever since like 2023, they were like saying like, yo, get Paramount, get Netflix,
Right.
to like lease the Snyderverse over because like frankly like Warner Brothers isn't still in so much debt right now that they like not even like even then like not even $1 billion success from Superman 2025 was gonna like solve their crisis in any way shape or form whatsoever.
Right.
And then like as for the casting, well, we still have to deal with the other elephants in the room, you know, like Amber Heard and Ezra Miller, but as for everybody else, I would say like, well, Jason Momoa, he just needs to bulk back up and whatnot because now he's getting that beer gut.
Yeah.
Gal Gadot, she'll be fine. She's still been doing fashion and whatnot. Ben Affleck, well, he prided the Snyder Cut of Justice League as being like easily one of his best movies because it got like I think he said in an interview, it got like an 8.4 out of 10. Because if you like make it past like 8.2 out of 10 on IMDb, then it's like that's like easily one of the best movies ever.
Yeah.
And then of course Henry Cavill. Well, it's a redemption for Henry Cavill because I mean he got shafted really hard. That was BS what happened to him.
Yeah.
And then the same thing that happened with like Witcher and whatnot. Like the guy is like a nerd's nerd. He knows his material, but the producers just keep screwing him over in any way, shape, or form whatsoever. So
Yeah, and that's the problem. You know, it's like the actors and actresses, they're all good. They'll come back, you know. So when people say, oh, they moved on or they're getting too old, no, they're not. You know, if we can get Michael Keaton, dude was like, what, 71 when he came back for The Flash, but that's okay, right? Like it's okay for him to come back, but not Ben Affleck and all these actors and actresses, they'll come back. They
yeah,
will really come back.
and like another example is like even like Sylvester Stallone. He was in his 70s and he was still kicking ass.
Yeah. So yeah,
And
that
and also Harrison Ford.
true. Big time, yeah. 100% agree with you, you know. That's why sometimes some fans like to pinpoint, you know, things that's convenient for them. But when they see, oh, okay, yeah, you're right, they don't say anything about that. So it's like, okay, you know, we won't argue, but we'll let it be.
Yeah, and then I think overall too. I think overall too when it comes to Zack Snyder and whatnot. I think what it ended up creating was like a new generation of creators who just understand like how to make like what was it like stories that are like raw, real, and intense and whatnot. They don't like sanitize it. But I'm
Yeah.
not saying like go overboard with the with
Yeah.
how edgy you can be.
Yeah.
But even then, like I never really saw like I remember like I didn't even get into I didn't even know who Zack Snyder was until Man of Steel, and I was like, oh, that's the same guy who did 300.
Yeah.
And then all the people at the time who were like saying like, oh, this Superman is super edgy. He's emo. I'm like, where are you getting this emo thing from? I did not see emo Superman from Man of Steel.
Right?
Like honestly, the movie wasn't even that dark.
Yeah, it wasn't. You know, it had its moments, but I mean, it fits for what what Zach was going with. So that's
Yeah,
I think the new generation, since they're so used to TikTok and all this stuff, I think they wanted to see when Superman was facing Zod, hey, we're in the middle of a war, of a battle, everything's going down, but how about we do a dance off, crack a joke, and then we fight. That's what people are used to right now.
yeah. Like they're not used to like when shit gets real, it gets real. Like even the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, like even Spider-Man 2 especially, the quintessential lighthearted superhero film that even Roger Ebert said was the best superhero film of all time. Like even like the lighthearted movies or whatever, like they don't need to be like goofy. They just need to have that they still need to have that drama and that realism to them. That's what made Spider-Man 2 great, was that Peter Parker just can't catch a break in life, and yet he's still able to find the good in people.
Yeah, big time. For sure, for sure.
So like every time somebody says like, oh, it's a lighthearted superhero movie, and that's another thing too with the James Gunn Superman movie. It's like it it really wasn't a hopeful movie. It was really more of a feel good movie. Like the only way you could have hope at all is if you have like hopelessness and despair. You need to have thesis and antithesis.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Jeez, the mental gymnastics lately is just ridiculous.
Yeah, they're just trying to justify knowing that they didn't win, and they don't they don't like to hear us telling them the truth, and that's why they're kind of bitter about that, which is okay. But it is what it is. I mean, after 12
But,
years, they could have proven us wrong, but they didn't.
but what's crazy too is that aside from like the Snyder hate or whatever, they'll even throw Christopher Nolan under the bus. Like I've run into people like this. Like they'll like aside from the Zack Snyder hate, they'll justify it by even throwing Christopher Nolan under the bus just because his Batman trilogy was like it was like it was pretty dramatic and realistic and like very dramatic and realistic and had some really like heavy dark shit in there. But like what was it like? Some people were like saying, oh, once again, it's just a Batman movie money cash cow for Warner Brothers. Um, or like Nolan brought more damage to the DC brand with the Batman trilogy. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, like you said, they'll throw them under the bus. That's how they are.
Like it's not like lately too. Like it's not even. And nowadays, like people are just like what was it? Even like the woke crowd or whatever, like hating Christopher Nolan just because he makes it like real or whatnot. Like with Oppenheimer, that scene with Florence Pugh who was like in the nude and whatnot. They're like freaking out about that, and I'm like, dude, he's literally adapting a novel about Robert J. Oppenheimer. What did you expect?
Right. Yeah, that's why I guess Hollywood doesn't care about quality anymore, but then they complain and cry why they don't make the money that they're making at the box office. But then
And
you
they're
have
also
movies. So it's like, which one do you want?
and like they're also whining about like how people are not attending movies anymore. Like the Antifa movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, directed by I think that was Wes Anderson.
Okay.
But you know the one I'm talking about, right?
I think so. I kind of remember, but I think somewhere around it, I kind of remember seeing something on that.
Where apparently now nobody wants to go to a movie theater anymore because it's like they're so used to like the quality being utter garbage that now they're not even going to risk it with original content anymore.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like,
It's like they're scared. They're scared of original content. They don't like original content creators. They just don't. And if you look at it, there's people tuning in watching YouTube. I'm one of them. I'm constantly watching YouTube. Like I'm not gonna be watching, like all these cable services. Like people don't even want that anymore. This is why you see that they have, HBO Max, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, all these things, just because people know that that's where the audience is at right now.
which even now I think is like streaming is definitely the problem with cinematic filmmaking because if you follow this other YouTuber named Zappy, he was talking about how well actually I commented on his video once and then I actually kind of threw it out there to another YouTuber named Visions of Hope where he did like a full on Snyderverse video about hour 15 minutes where I said streaming definitely ruined cinematic filmmaking because now we've gotten accustomed to the pacing has to be like high octane, fast. You need to have everything be like controversial, regardless of like you need to have everything be like controversial, regardless of like just like any context whatsoever. The characters have to be controversial too, even to the point of unlikability. But I don't know. I guess if you have cognitive dissonance, then I guess you'll just like all the characters or whatnot, even if they're like
Right.
even if they're unlikable pieces of shit. Like in Euphoria, for example. Um, like it really flirted with that line between does it glamorize like drug addiction or any kind of addiction, or does it like does it glorify it or is it like actually like commenting on it?
Right. Yeah.
But unfortunately, like a lot of the character decisions are like so out of left field and like so unlikable that I'm just like I can't like the show. And
Yeah.
then to the filmmaking aspect, same thing. Even with Marvel, it's got to be fast paced, high octane. You got to make everything controversial just for the sake of it. And even the filmmaking quality too. Like when the Mandalorian and Grogu Star Wars trailer came out, like people were like ripping on that trailer like crazy. They're just like, this is not a movie. This is like a Disney Plus movie.
Yeah, it's wild, but people have to also understand. I guess it's just because it's the internet, and people are just so used to, again, controversy. As long as it's controversy, people are going to talk regardless. I think this is just my point of view. When it comes to whatever it is, whether it's music, it's a video, a movie, whatever it is, even games. One, not everybody has the same tools, because if everybody had the same tools, it would be boring. Like you have directors that are filming, on red cameras. Not everybody can do red. Some people are doing on regular. Some people are doing it on phones. Some people, like 28. What is it? 28. The most recent one was shot on the phone, and you can clearly see the difference. I like what they did with it. I love the angles. I won't knock them down for that. But the movie and the story itself was not part of what 28 is supposed to be. You can clearly see that they wanted to go like 3 different paths, because at the end, what they did, I was like, what? And then the whole movie's just focused on these 2 characters. And I'm like, okay, but what about everything that's falling apart? Like there's so many things that they missed from it. But that's what that director wanted to give us. For me, as the audience, it just wasn't for me. I was like, yeah, you sold me a lie. Like I wanted to see what was on the other movies, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, and to kind of end it on this note with like a streaming and whatnot, it's like now we've gotten used to like just mediocre or good as the bar for masterpieces, and if we keep accepting it as the gold standard, then we're never gonna get anything. We're not gonna get a cinematic masterpiece again. We're not gonna get like a Nolan tier movie. We're not gonna get what's another director that produces like masterpieces? Tarantino. Ridley Scott before he went like crazy and whatnot. I didn't bother with Gladiator 2.
Yeah, me neither.
But yeah, it's like we're not gonna get masterpieces again if we just keep getting or Christopher McQuarrie with Mission Impossible Fallout. Like we're not gonna get masterpieces again if we just keep accepting good and passable and mediocre.
Yeah, I got you. All right, let me go to the next one, because they've been waiting.
Yeah,
man. For a bit. All right, cool, got you.
All right, man. Thanks. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. You already know it. All right, talk to us.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So who do you think will buy out WB? Do you think it's Netflix or Paramount or Netflix?
At this point, any of them.
Okay.
Any of them. Like right now, like everything is just speculation. Nobody can say for sure who or what until we start hearing those bids go up. Because once they
I hope
it's
Netflix. I hope it's Netflix.
Either or.
Yeah.
Either or.
Because didn't Zach, he did Rebel Moon there, so
yeah.
I hope it goes to Netflix, because I feel like Netflix and him have a good relationship.
Yeah, they do.
So yeah, but Paramount, I don't know about Paramount, because I don't know if they got the money and stuff like that. So
yeah, I mean, $8 billion is $8 billion.
but isn't that Skydance or
the
Skydance merger or whatever? That's where that money's coming from.
Yeah, it's coming from them directly. So they're the ones that So I mean, then again, let's just speculate, because speculating, it could be fun. Let's just say that they do end up buying them. I mean, the moment that they do, we've been seeing the stocks of WB starting to go up just because of that announcement. Just because people are talking all these rumors and stuff, which is good. But if they announce, let's just say, just for the fun of it, that they're like, you know what, we're gonna be the new parent company. We bought them out. Just that alone is gonna bring a lot of attention to them. Stocks are gonna start going back up, not just on WB, on everybody, because now people are gonna be in the industry investing again. Now you have people like, hey, things are gonna change. All right, I might as well start investing now. So it's like that whole Bitcoin kind of stuff. So, and if they announce let's just say whoever acquires them, that they're like, hey, like I've been saying, yo, just try it. You won't know until you do it. Just put on the internet. Look, we got Zack Snyder, and we're just
Their stock
That's
price is
it.
gonna go through the roof if
gonna
they
be
just
nuts.
announce that.
Yeah,
their share is gonna go through the roof.
Even more, because look at Netflix share right now, over $1,000, and that's right now without like big things. They have what they have. You imagine they
I heard their share
price.
price has been going down since the Elon Musk news. I heard.
Yeah, but
I
it's
haven't been
not
looking at
affecting
it.
though. I mean, what's from $1,000 to what? Maybe 800, maybe I don't know. I mean, that's nothing. DC, I mean, Warner Brothers is right now what, like barely at $20, $19,
it's pathetic.
$18. You get what I'm
It's just
saying?
pathetic,
it's like,
man. It's just pathetic.
so it's in the end, it's all about money. That's all it is. And Greedy David Zaslav, he just wants a big offer, and we can't knock him down for that. You get what I'm saying? He's a businessman. He wants his money, and we want content. We really want content.
Right. And I honestly, back in 2019 when Disney bought out Fox, I was always skeptical of that, because I already knew that Disney wasn't going to do nothing with Fox. I mean, they got the X-Men, right? They've done nothing with the X-Men since that Fox merger.
Yeah.
So I hope whoever gets WB actually does something good with DC instead of this James Gunn slop that no one wants,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
how do you feel? How do you feel as not just saying because you're a Snyder fan or a James Gunn fan, just in general, how do you feel the moment you heard that James Gunn was coming and then he got appointed to be the CEO?
At first, I was like, okay, cool, because I like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Okay.
So I was him coming from Marvel. I was like, cool, he's coming over to DC and do a good job. But then, as like the promotion of Superman started to come along, and I just realized like this guy doesn't know what he's doing, and I was like, oh shoot, And then I saw your channel, because the first time I saw your channel was when you did a collab with Harsh Critics.
Okay.
So. Yeah, you guys were talking about that cross-eyed Superman. That? Yeah. That's the first time I noticed your channel, and I was like, "Damn, y'all are onto something." That's when I started the Walls Closed, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm keeping my walls closed." Free James Gunn,
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are.
I like James Gunn's previous work, but now I can't stand the dude. I really can't.
Yeah, I think what it is. That power has literally dominated him, and he's just so focused on, well, it's all about me, I can do what I want, and he's even come out in the interview, he's like, oh, I get to do what I want and how I want, just because he has that power, but everything comes to an end.
Yeah, and I hope Paramount does something good with the Transformers. I haven't seen a Transformers movie since 2017, bro. Like the last night, that was the last time I saw it. Because I was interested in seeing the Rise of the Beast, and I'm like, why is there so focused on Jazz? Like, why is Optimus the focus point? You know what I mean? I'm like, what is this? Because I'm an Optimus fan. Like that's my guy. Optimus and Bumblebee. Those are my two guys. But I don't know. I just didn't like that movie, honestly. I didn't even see it in theaters. I was like, hell no, I'm not gonna see this.
Like you're not really missing much. I'm telling you, because like I'm a hardcore when it comes to like the cinematic universe and stuff.
Yeah.
If you do see them, watch them as this doesn't connect, but I see if it were to connect, but then you're like, but it can't connect. It just can't, Only way that they could connect it now, it's like by them doing like Marvel, just do a whole multiverse. That's That's the only way they could do it.
And I hate the multiverse, man. It's just so whack, because there's no, it means nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like a character could die and he can come back. It's just, I don't like that stuff,
It's pointless.
Yeah, it's pointless. Yeah,
that's what I think Marvel is gonna do with Doomsday eventually, and I don't know. I'm kind of worried about that. I think this whole Doomsday, he's just a variant, or he's a Skrull, or something. But I don't know. Like I'm just not feeling it.
Yeah, man. I appreciate the time, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for joining us. All right, then.
Okay.
Cool. All right, let's see. So anybody else that wants to join, we got a few more minutes. So let me just put the link. But yeah, that's all. Like I said, I really enjoy doing these streams with y'all, because it's good to hear point of views from each and every one of you, and it's interesting. It's always interesting, but it tells, like, let's just say that Warner Brothers and Paramount and Netflix and all these companies that they're watching, or probably they have somebody, one of their representatives watching, or they come across this, or they listen to this. It would be fantastic because you're actually hearing what the customers, the consumers, the fans themselves are saying. People are tired. This is not just me saying and talking, like a record player, oh, it's the same thing over and over again. No, this is what people are actually, these are the people that are spending money on your products want. And when you have these stubborn studios, just in general, I categorize all of them. It doesn't matter which one, from whatever IP. We say what we want because we care about these characters. That's why it cracks me up when some people come at me. You guys see it on the comments that they're like, oh, I'm not a real fan because this, and I don't like that, and I only like this, and oh, but I don't know, I don't know, right? I don't know enough that I actually do my research. I don't know enough that I actually bring you the facts. I don't know enough because I actually, go out of my way to spend this time and bring you this information, right? I don't know. That's the funny part. But it just shows you that we care about it. And I say we because we're all here together fighting for something that we all like, we all enjoy. Look, I may not like James Gunn when it comes to his DC take on what he's doing, but that doesn't say that I didn't like what he did with Guardians of the Galaxy. I liked the second film. I didn't like the third one. I didn't watch the first one, but like, it is what it is, I guess. What he's doing with DC, I'm not up for it. I knew the moment that when we saw the Suicide Squad, I was like, this is going to be bad. You could just see it. The first 5 minutes told me everything. I was like, this is going to be bad. From then to now, it's gotten worse, and it continues to get worse. And I'm like, this guy is the wrong person to be running this company. Look at the stocks. The stocks tells you everything of a company, and it's like for years, WB has been down to the ground. Meanwhile, Netflix making so much money. It's nuts. It's crazy. Even the way that the Hasbro and Paramount are with the Transformers, that they're doing bad. Their stocks are still good, and it's wild. It's really wild, But this is what we want, It's what fans are asking everywhere, And it's like when sometimes people label us and say one thing or the other, it's like all we want is just to be included. That's it. That's all we want, to be included. I mean, what's so hard about that? But sometimes, these studios, again, they just don't care. Let's look at example, Spider-Man. Sony has Spider-Man, right? You would think that Sony would be like, hey, we're going to start our own spin-off and do our own universe, not connected to Marvel with the MCU. We want to be different, and we want to bring these characters on an R-rated level or strong PG-13, whatever it is, right? All right, cool. You gave us Venom. Okay, good. You gave us Kraven the Hunter. Okay. You you gave us what was this other one? Madam Web. All right. You gave us No Way Home. Okay. It's missing something. You want to know why these movies did the way that they did and No Way Home did the money that it did? Very simple. You gave the fans what they wanted in No Way Home. You brought in all three different actors. You brought in all three actors into one, universe, and we finally get to see them all together. You know where you dropped the ball? When you got greedy. How? By saying, you know what? We're going to make all the villains of Spider-Man, but we're going to not include Spider-Man. How does that make sense? How? That's like making a Batman movie without Batman. How? Make it make sense. You cannot, it will not work, period. But then you have Hollywood that's so focused on their agendas on whatever it is that in the end, they just put whatever slop that they think is best. And they're like, oh, we'll just make a cameo. We'll put an Easter egg, as if we're that dumb and we're going to believe it. We've been seeing your lies all along. The reason why Venom did the numbers that it did, and unfortunately towards the end it started going down, is because people got tired of it. The first Venom, because it was the first live action standalone film from Venom. So, of course people were excited. The second one, because you got Carnage. But guess who's missing? Spider-Man. Madam Web, guess who's missing? Spider-Man. Morbius, guess who's missing? But there's an Easter egg of him. Spider-Man. See what I'm saying? That's the problem. And then that's what you see with Marvel that they're doing. They've been dropping the ball after Endgame. It's not that complicated. You literally have the power of the multiverse, you and DC, and y'all have no idea how to utilize it. You think that by bringing in, oh, let's capitalize on nostalgia to a certain point. Not everybody's gonna know who these actors are, and not everybody's gonna be like, yeah, let's do the multiverse thing. You have to do it right. Zack Snyder did the whole thing with what he was preparing in Zack Snyder's Justice League, the whole thing of setting up the Justice League to eventually fight, and it's gonna lead to the battle of what's his name, Darkseid, and those portals open, and you see Darkseid staring with the Sod and Granny Goodness staring at the Justice League. How do you just leave that and say, you know what, we're done? We're not gonna move forward with that. Instead, you know what sounds better? We're going to move with a reboot. How? No wonder your stocks are down. No wonder you're losing customers. No wonder nobody's interested. No wonder people are tired and they're exhausted. And no wonder why people are keeping their wallets closed. Because you did this to yourself, not us. We've been here. We've been supporting y'all for years, for decades, forever. It's 100 years you've been in business. And this is how you repay your fans? That is an embarrassment. That's why I cannot wait until WB goes up for sale. And it's going to happen. There's no stopping it. It's going to happen. And once it happens, guess what's going to come from that? People that work in the inside, meaning in these companies, they see the potential. They're like, hold on. We know that there's a huge demand for the Snyderverse. We know there's a huge demand for the air cut. If it wasn't a huge demand, let's be real. Why would McFarlane Toys be putting out toys from a movie that's over 10, 11, 12 years old to do a crowdfunding campaign? And less than a week, it got fully funded. And in a month, it surpassed that. Huh? Answer that. How come they're doing the same thing with David Ayer's Suicide Squad with 2 toys? And it's almost fully funded. And it's less than a month, less than 2 weeks. That tells you everything. People are buying it. Meanwhile, with James Gunn, they think that, hey, we're going to make a knockoff version of DC, and we're going to make it all raunchy. We're going to make it R-rated, and people are going to eat it because screw the fans. They're going to eat what we give them, right? It doesn't work like that. That's why you are where you are. They thought, meaning WB thought, that they were going to get us all and say, hey, Snyder fans, guess what? We're doing Black Adam, and we're going to bring in Henry Cavill. Okay. Once that leaked to the internet, guess what happened? Everybody said, hell nah. You only put him in there for 3 seconds. That's it. And you're trying to justify it. I love the fact that Henry Cavill's back. But don't think that I'm supporting your new universe or whatever you're doing. And then on top of that, you did him dirty. You never gave us a Ben Affleck movie. And you gave us what you gave us with Wonder Woman 84. What about our boy, Cyborg? And what about The Flash? That wasn't what we wanted. Again, they lied to us. So what are we doing? We're keeping our wallets closed. And in the end, this is the end result. They're losing money at the box office. People are not rewatching these movies. They're only watching it because, what's everybody talking about? Superman. Oh, let's go watch it. Oh, there's nothing else to do. Let's go watch it. And then they're coming out of the movie saying that's the worst movie that they have ever seen. They're like, this is not a Superman movie. What is this? What did I just watch? Imagine how bad it must have been for WB to see that movie 3 different versions until we got this final 4th version that got released in the theaters. They must have been like, oh, no, this is bad. Yeah, we told y'all. You should have just kept Zack Snyder. You should have continued and ended properly the Snyderverse. But no, you keep making this difficult for yourselves because we, the fans, keep on asking for it. And whoever ends up buying WB, don't think that there's not fans in there that also want to see what Zack was going to cook with the DCEU. And you think they're not going to bring that back? Of course they are. They're going to be like, there's money sitting there. We can't let that go to waste. We have to capitalize on it. And that's why you see all these James Gunn trolls coming out, and they cannot accept it. They can't accept the fact that it's going to happen. You have greedy Marvel that literally bought out Fox just so they can get their X-Men characters. And even that's not working for them. You know why? Because Marvel has lost the spark. They don't have that originality anymore, like with the first MCU. Now we've seen what they've been putting out, and people are tired of it. People are tired of both Marvel and DC. This is why, like I said, the future is independent filmmakers, independent comic book creators, independent music composers, everything that's independent. You know why? Because people just want to be entertained. People don't want to be watching a superhero movie and the superhero reminding you of, hey, you know what? You got to do this for the world and you got to change this, but you got to take this side and you got to do this and that. People don't want that. People just want these characters going at it and showing you what they're all about in that universe or whatever, world that they're in and stuff like that, why they're doing it, the basics. When I watch these movies, I want to see the who, what, when, where, why, all that stuff. And I'm like, in the end, how does this all connect? Because to me, I want to know how it all connects. You got away from it, okay, but how does it fully get away from it? You're just gonna jump around and open a door and all of a sudden you're in a new dimension because magically you just erased everything. It doesn't work like that. That's the shortcut. That's the lazy way. And that's what James Gunn has been doing. That's what Marvel has been doing. They don't cater to the audience and the fans anymore. They just cater to, you know what? Hey, the fans have no other choice, and that's what we're gonna stick with. It just, who cares at this point, But unfortunately, it is what it is. What can we do, And like I tell, and I encourage every independent artist out there, whether you do music, you do art, you do arts and crafts, you cosplay, whatever it is that you do, you write, whatever it is that you enjoy, your passion, what you know that you're good at, because we're all good at something, all right? Everybody that's out there listening to this, keep going after what makes you happy. Others are going to tell you no, to stop, to don't do it. They might not even believe in you. It is what it is. It's going to happen. But as long as you believe in it and you know that this is what the world needs to see, to read, to enjoy, whatever it is, that's what you need. You need that because that's what Hollywood is afraid. Hollywood doesn't want people like us out here putting real content for fans, customers, and consumers all over. In the end, we're the ones that are making a change. This is why we're called content creators. Meanwhile, Hollywood is still struggling, trying to figure out what universe, what's connected, what takes place, where it's going to take place. Let's reboot, and let's reboot. And it's still not working. Oh, let's remake it. Let's reboot it. Why? We're tired of it. We want original content back. And in the time that, as we keep on moving into the future, things will head that way. The future is independent. And these companies are starting to realize it. You see how many independent companies are making video games. And when you have studios that can't control that, the same thing with the comic industry. So many independent comic creators. And that's what's dominating. And it's going to surpass all of these, big corporations. They don't like that. But that's what it comes down to. Overall, entertainment is supposed to be entertaining. And when we do this, it's because we enjoy it. When I talk about restore the Snyderverse, release the Ayer cut, restore the Bayverse, it's because that's what I enjoy. And I'm not the only one. Clearly, I'm not the only one. This is why people follow, they like, they comment, all that stuff, because they also can agree on some things. We're not going to agree on everything. I'm not asking for everybody to agree and see my point of view. It's good to disagree. It's okay to disagree. It's normal, but some people just can't accept criticism, but in the end, it's entertainment that we're all here for and what we want. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, In the end, everything is what we make of it. If there's a movie out there that everybody's like, oh, it's the best thing, and clearly you know that they're lying, and you're just seeing the trailer and it doesn't convince you, why are you going to waste your time on it? I know I don't. You get what I'm saying? If the trailer doesn't sell me and it really doesn't get my attention, then what can I say? There's some movies that they'll lie to you and say, hey, this movie, this and that, and you watch it and it's like, what the hell did I just see? But it's because, again, It's all with the marketing and everything that they do and stuff like that. But it is what it is, my friends. And again, I want to thank y'all for watching, for tuning in. I know I just saw a comment right now. Let me just acknowledge it. Let me see. I see that y'all liked the stream for today. I just saw it somewhere. I can't find it right now. But yeah, it was a good stream. I enjoyed doing these open mics. And like I said, moving forward, we'll be doing some more stuff like that. And I can't wait because it's good to hear, everybody and stuff like that. Maybe on the next one, I might do one with probably like maybe like a few more people on the stream and stuff like that. Like I said, we'll keep on doing another one with one-on-one just because you get your time to talk and interact and stuff like that. I know when a lot of people jump on, it could be hectic, and that's why I try to keep it organized. Sometimes in the end, being organized is very important, and that's something that again, it's good. It's good, for all of us and stuff like that. I truly enjoy everybody that comes, even if you don't get on it. Even if you saw it for like a few seconds, the stream and stuff like that. For everybody that shares, comments, likes, subscribes, all that good, all that good stuff. Honestly, like in the end, that means a lot to me. Honestly, whenever I put these videos and I see that you guys are watching and from all over, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, honestly, and it's incredible. It's incredible. I remember when I started YouTube, when I had like under 50 subscribers, and like I've been on YouTube for a while, but I never took it serious like I have like the past 2 or 3 years and stuff. And it's been amazing, and here we are. Here we are. I finally have one comic book out. Now I'm working on the second one, and like I said, this is the journey, of a independent content creator, with YouTube videos, with the comic book that I'm working and stuff. And plus, we all have busy lives and stuff. So, but I always enjoy these, I really do. I enjoy communicating and talking with everybody and stuff like that. It's amazing. It's amazing also. But with that being said, my friends, I want to thank y'all for watching. I'm going to catch you on the next one. And until then, stay safe. Peace out.